What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bowler's Paradise and our first review of 2024. My name is Ben. I'm a USBC Silver Certified Coach, and today we are taking a look at the all-new Big Time Special Edition from Ebonite. Before we get it going, be sure you are subscribed. It's free, it's easy, and it is the best way to help us bring you the best non-biased cross-brand reviews in bowling. While you're down there, make sure you hit that notification bell too so you don't miss out on the next review. It might feel the same and look the same, but the Big Time from Ebonite is back and better than ever. Originally released back in 2005, the Big Time was a fan and pros favorite, and when Tommy Jones asks for a re-release of his favorite ball, I don't think Ebonite really has a choice in the matter. The core specs are the same as they were in the original, with a 2.51 RG and an 0.54 differential, but as you'd expect, the cover is updated with a combination of that HK22 base material and a new GB 13.7 Pearl formula, which is all actually sanded to a dull 1500 grit out of the box. For the layout, I actually went into my own personal archive and laid this one out just like my original Hyroad Nano. Now, I know that the cover materials on paper are actually much different, but I just had a feeling that this one would really appreciate the 4x5x5 2LS layout. Call it a hunch, but that layout was awesome on that slow reacting piece from Storm, and I was willing to bet that it would help the Big Time show us its best look with a similar intent in the layout. And on the lanes, I think that everyone telling me I need to hit these HK22 balls with some surface were really onto something. You can definitely see that same responsiveness to friction that we've seen out of just about every other HK22 release, but this time in a much more usable package. The Big Time has a comfortably slow reaction in the mid lane due to that surface being quite rough, but still does a decent job getting off the spot and up to the pocket. It's a reasonable blend of control and being angular, and that's probably my favorite thing about this one from Ebonite. It's pretty rare to see sanded pearl symmetrical pieces these days, and I don't really understand why. This type of shape is a house shot killer for both speed and rev dominant players. It's not too much and it's not too weak either. Although it does require a bowler to understand ball motion in a little bit of an advanced way to really get it to shine, that level of versatility is one that I would value a lot in my arsenal. But even our best traits can sometimes be our greatest weaknesses too. And the fact that this piece from Ebonite doesn't necessarily do one thing extremely well and is rather focused on versatility, that may limit the value it has for some bowlers. It's the curse of a benchmark style ball, where it's good on everything, but it's rarely great on anything. But if you were to pair it with an Ebonite Fireball and the One Encore, you would be able to bridge the gap between those two pieces with the Big Time. The One Encore is still one of the strongest balls you can buy today, and the Fireball is a weaker, cleaner, and more angular piece than the Big Time. This combination of pieces would give you a look from many different parts of the lane, with the key variable being your own ability to go to the correct place with the right ball to maximize your scores. Taking a look at our cross-brand comparisons, I grabbed the Nuclear Forge from Motive and matched the surface grit to that 1500 on the Big Time, and even with that, you can see how much more angular this one is. The Nuclear Forge won the Most Angular award for a reason, and even with a lot of surface on it, all that did was made me move into more oil and get it to do what it's best at. Then I grabbed the Zen Gold label from 900 Global, matched that 1500 grit surface again, and here we see a lot more overlap with the Big Time. This surface change slows down the reactivity of the gold label pretty significantly and also causes it to just about roll out prior to getting to the pins. Now, while the gold label is one of the most angular balls of 2023 at its box surface, this change alone makes it a very controlled shape and much more usable on a variety of conditions. But with that, here's my recommendations on the types of bowlers that I think would match up well with the Big Time from Ebonite. The first is speed dominant players. I see the Big Time as a piece that speed dominant players will love to ball down to and not have to get out of their comfort zone. Even though there is a lot of surface on this thing out of the box, it'll shine up nicely with some use and be able to use the friction available to do the right thing early and often for these players. The second is bowlers with a high axis of rotation. When I was throwing these test shots, the ones that looked the best were the ones that I really opened up my own axis rotation. That extra focus on getting the ball to go from right to left balanced with the slower friction response of the Big Time really well, and I think bowlers who have this as a natural part part of their game will really appreciate being rewarded for doing what they do best. The all-new Big Time Special Edition might be a new take on an old idea, but when the idea turns into something great like this, it's sure to help you see a big-time increase in your scores. And you can pick this up today and much more at bowlersparadise.com. Be sure you use that discount code YouTube at checkout for free shipping. Thank you to my friend Nick Pluck for the drilling of this piece, and to Dale's Weston Lanes for letting us film this video. If you haven't yet, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more ball and product reviews. But as always, remember you guys, having the right ball in your hands, now that's a bowler's paradise. Peace.